What is up, everybody? My name is BobaTalks, and today I'm here to bring you a trailer breakdown of episode 18 of Arrow called Disbanded. I'll also be going over some of the promo photos for this episode as well, and I always like when I save doing a trailer breakdown until a couple of days later because that's normally when these extra photos from the episode come out as well. Now, before we get into this video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button if you do end up enjoying this video, as it really does show your support. And as always, everybody, before I go ahead and break down the trailer and the photos, let's have a look at the trailer.
Star City will not be safe until Chase is in the ground, and there is no price I will not pay to see that happen.
I need you to kill Adrian, Chase.
You and the team will be fine if you stay away from Chase.
So the synopsis for this episode goes as follows. Diggle and Felicity are shocked by Oliver's decision to call on the Bratva to help take down Prometheus. Concerned the Bratva may overstep, Diggle has a hard conversation with Oliver about what happens if things go south. Meanwhile, Felicity learns something shocking at Helix. Now everybody, this trailer was, really interesting. It reveals quite a few things about the episode, and the synopsis definitely helped clarify that, but I'll also go over the promo photos simultaneously whilst talking about the trailer. Now what we do know is that everything is going very, very serious in Arrow at the minute. I mean, the title of this episode basically says it all, disbanded. I mean, Oliver wants to kind of hang things up and just get rid of Adrian Chase, aka Prometheus, because he is really breaking Oliver to his core. Now, the most interesting thing, in my opinion, that we all should have gathered from this trailer is that Oliver calls on Anatole to take out Adrian Chase. Now, this is kind of interesting. I mean, I know Oliver does obviously kill when he has to. For example, we learnt that with Damien Dark, and now Prometheus is kind of on a different level, but, one of those situations where Oliver kind of has to finish him off, but it is proving extremely difficult with Adrian Chase allied with Talia al Ghul as well. Things, from what everybody saw in the last episode as well, are getting very, very serious for Oliver, and he is always 10 steps ahead of Oliver, so he really needs some help to actually sort this out for once and for all. Now, in the episodes of Arrow leading up to this point, I feel like Oliver felt like maybe he could deal with the throwing star killer, aka Prometheus, and then obviously in the most recent episode everybody learned that Oliver really and totally completely underestimated him, and he's practically picking Oliver apart piece by piece. From this trailer, Oliver says himself there is no price that he won't pay to see Prometheus taken out. And this is where the premise of the whole Bratva comes in, and Diggle, from what we saw in the trailer as well, gets in a heated moment with Oliver because he has a stern conversation. From what we can all gather, he doesn't approve of Oliver bringing the Bratva in. Now, from what we know about the Bratva, especially in the flashbacks, is that it's a very serious brotherhood. Even though Oliver has, the captain rank in the Bratva, I don't blame Diggle having this stern conversation with Oliver and probably trying to talk him out of it, or at least saying you do realize, what could happen if this goes south. And then, you see Oliver punch him. And I always do try to say trailers are a bit misleading, but I think this might be, actually the case. Oliver is kind of losing his shit at this point, and with Diggle, saying, you can't do this, or, this is probably not the best thing to do, Oliver probably loses it, and that is when this moment happens. And that's a really big shame, because I hate it when things like this happen between Diggle and Oliver, because they're like the two OGs. They've been there since day one, and it's, it's really horrible to see when something happens between them both. That is personal and, violent, because that just sucks. But at the same time, I sort of understand, if you really do think about the position of where Oliver is at the moment in his mental state and just his situation in general, he's got this guy pulling his strings left, right, and center, and he completely feels like he can't do anything about it. And the last option he's got is to talk to Anatole to destroy Prometheus. Notice the text they're using in the trailer as well. How far is too far for vengeance? And that is kind of true. I mean, if we take into account that the no killing rule has kind of been sort of put off the table with Oliver, you do kind of have to admit that it is a little bit low, or a little bit different of Oliver Queen, the Green Arrow, to sort of get a gangster mob, leader, Anatole of the Bratva, to take out Adrian Chase, who is the DA. Even though he is Prometheus, it's just like not the traditional, conventional way Oliver has beaten his enemies in the past with, with a justified kind of battle and, maybe killing Damien Dark at the very last minute, but at least he sort of did everything he could beforehand to stop that. But now Oliver is just like, you know, I need this guy killed. I need him dead. This needs to be done now. And there is absolutely no price I will not pay for this to happen. And it really, you know, this season is absolutely amazing. I mean, I have to say that for a second. We really are seeing Oliver at his lowest. And from what Stephen Amell was teasing on Twitter, is that the finale could very well be the best episode of Arrow that has ever aired. And that has just got me so hyped. Because in my honest opinion, at the minute, this is better than The Flash. And I didn't think I would ever say that. Really well done, Arrow. The storyline this season is remarkable. Now, as for the team, they seem to be obviously fighting without Oliver, because from what we've learned in the last episode, Oliver, for, you know, the foreseeable future, has hung up the hood, but it obviously won't be for very, very long. Now, as to who the team are fighting, that is a good question. I mean, I don't know if it is the Bratva or if it is, you know, a standard, you know, oh, let's do something to help out the city whilst Oliver is preoccupied. But at the same time, if Diggle and Felicity are so worried about things going south with the Bratva, maybe they do have other intentions which Oliver doesn't necessarily know about, or perhaps is letting happen because he wants Adrian Chase, aka Prometheus, dead so badly. And that is what causes the friction between Diggle and Oliver perhaps towards the end of this trailer. Now, that is something I'm very confident of. Obviously, the Bratva, with Oliver, you know, calling in this favor and them coming out in this trailer, since I am pretty sure that these people, you know, shooting at Adrian Chase's car because he's in that car, you know, getting a ride, and then all these people are coming out of that truck are the Bratva, and then we see Adrian Chase getting tackled, and it's very obvious that Adrian Chase isn't going to die, and he's probably going to own them all, even though they have guns and he's not even equipped with anything. I'm very certain that even with their efforts in this episode, they will want something back from Oliver. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Anatole requests back in return from Oliver in this episode. Now, we can't also forget that the synopsis states that Felicity learned something shocking at Helix. So I'm thinking, for all the favors that Helix have been doing for Felicity, you know, it's about time she does something as well to repay the favor. So she probably learns about what their cause and what they're really up to behind the scenes is, and she probably will not agree with it, but she really kind of needs to use their resources. So it's going to be kind of a bit of a morality battle, I feel, for Felicity, like if she should continue helping them with whatever they're doing, or is that going to be too much for her and she might not actually agree with it at all. Now, most of these promo photos do complement the trailer. You know, they're mostly from similar scenes. We do see Adrian Chase just walking around, probably taunting Oliver and Quentin Lance, but we also see him in a sling as well, supporting his arm. So I'm thinking this is probably most likely after the attack that the Bratva put on him, and he obviously survives, and, you know, he's just a bit wounded. So at the minute, you know, in the city, from the public point of view, everything Adrian Chase is going through with the Green Arrow, and then, you know, his wife being killed, and now this, a lot of people are probably feeling sorry for him, which is probably seriously aggravating for Oliver, knowing that he is, you know, obviously Prometheus himself. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think is going to happen in next week's episode of Arrow, and let me know what you thought of this trailer in the comments below. If you did make it this far in the video, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you left a like on it, as it really does show your support for the channel, and be sure to follow me on Twitter and my Facebook page in the links below. But apart from that, everybody, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.